Welcome back, everyone. Grab your popcorn because today's story is packed with shocking twists, emotional moments, and secrets that change everything. Let's jump right in. You know, folks, I've been watching General Hospital longer than most people have been married, and I got to tell you, my heart's been heavy for that sweet Willow for the longest time. Month after month, it felt like she was trapped in one of those bad dreams you just can't wake up from. Everywhere she turned, there was Drew protecting him, covering up his messes, trying to hold everything together. He kept stirring up trouble. The poor girl looked so tired, like the weight of the world was sitting right on her shoulders. I'd shake my head and tell my wife, that girl deserves better than this endless headache. But let me tell you what's got me smiling today, like I just won the church raffle. Finally, and I mean finally, Willow has found a real way to stand up and fight back. Thanks to some information Jack uncovered that Drew never saw coming, she's got herself the upper hand at General Hospital. It's like the sun breaking through after weeks of storm clouds. Jack gave her something she hasn't had in ages, real choices. And when you've been backed into a corner that long, having choices feels like someone handing you a fresh map when you thought you were lost forever. I reckon the secret they're holding onto could bring some mighty serious consequences for Drew. If Jack is right, and I have a feeling he is, things are about to get real uncomfortable for that man. Nina even mentioned that prison is probably what scares Drew the most. And coming from her, those words carry a lot of truth. Lord knows he's been getting away with too much for too long. Now it looks like the balance of power is finally shifting away from him, and I couldn't be happier about it. Justice has a way of catching up, doesn't it? Just like in real life, sometimes you need one good piece of truth to turn the whole situation around. Watching Willow these past months, I kept thinking how much she reminds me of so many good women I've known. Strong, kind-hearted, always putting others first, even when it hurts. She's been through enough heartache already. But now, for the first time in a long while, that girl can actually see a clear path forward. It's like she's been given a second wind, a real chance to breathe again and take control of her own story. This could change everything in Port Charles, and I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat, cheering her on like she was my own daughter. You know, life's funny that way. One day you're stuck in the mud, and the next, someone hands you a rope to pull yourself out. I believe this secret is going to shake things up in ways we haven't even seen yet. Willow's got fight left in her, and with Jack in her corner, I think she's ready to use it. Oh, it warms this old heart to see good people finally get a fighting chance. I can't wait to see what happens next on General Hospital. If you've been following along too, you know exactly what I mean. This feels like the turning point we've all been hoping for. God bless that girl. She's earned this moment. For the longest time, poor Willow, that sweet, strong girl played by Caitlin McMullen, has been stuck in a tough spot that just broke my heart to watch. Right from the beginning, it seemed like Drew was always 3 steps ahead of everybody else. People would whisper their suspicions, they'd ask the hard questions behind closed doors, but when it came time to actually prove anything, the evidence just wasn't strong enough to stick. It was like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands, frustrating as all get out. I'd shake my head and tell my wife over morning coffee, that girl deserves so much better than being trapped in this endless mess. Month after month, Willow was doing her best to hold everything together, always protecting others, always trying to do the right thing, even when it cost her dearly. But Drew, he just kept slipping through the cracks, staying one move ahead, leaving her feeling powerless and worn out. It reminded me of so many good people I've known in real life, kind-hearted souls who keep getting pushed around by someone who plays dirty. But let me tell you, things are finally shifting in a big way, and it feels good. Jack, played by Chris McKenna, has stepped up and declared he's got the exact proof they've all been waiting for. According to him, Drew went and embezzled money from the McConkey Esplanade project just to fund his own political campaign. If that turns out to be true, and my gut tells me it is, then Willow finally has what she's been missing all this time, real, solid leverage. Not just another heavy load of guilt on her shoulders, not empty hope that things might get better, and not just one more heartfelt conversation that leads nowhere. No, sir, this is actual power she can use to push back. What makes this moment so different and so satisfying is that Drew suddenly has something to be genuinely scared about. For once, he's not sitting pretty on top of the hill. Bless her heart, with Cynthia Watros bringing her to life so well, hit the nail right on the head when she pointed out that the last thing Drew wants is to risk going back to prison. That kind of pressure is something Willow could never put on him before, no matter how hard she tried. Now the tables are turning, and instead of always having to react to Drew's next sneaky move, Willow might finally be the one holding the reins and deciding how this story goes. I tell you what, watching this unfold has me feeling hopeful for that girl like I haven't in months. She's been through so much heartache, already raising her family, dealing with all the drama at the hospital, and trying to stay true to herself while everything around her kept falling apart. This leverage Jack uncovered could be the key that unlocks a whole new chapter for her. It's like in real life when you've been carrying a heavy burden for years and somebody finally hands you a strong walking stick to help you stand tall again. You feel stronger, clearer, and ready to take that next step forward. This whole situation has me excited for what's coming next on General Hospital. I can already picture Willow breathing a little easier, looking at her future with fresh eyes instead of fear. Drew's been getting away with too much for too long, but even the cleverest foxes eventually get caught when the hounds pick up the right scent. And this evidence, it smells like the real deal. Lord, it warms this old heart to see good people like Willow get a fighting chance after all the struggles. She's earned this moment of strength, and I'm cheering her on like she was one of my own. If you've been following the show too, you know exactly how much this means. It's the kind of turning point that makes all those long months of waiting worthwhile. I can't wait to see how she uses this leverage and what it does to shake up life in Port Charles. God bless that girl. Here's hoping brighter days are ahead for her. You know, folks, I've been watching General Hospital for more years than I can count. And let me tell you, something important just happened in Port Charles that's got me feeling hopeful again. The whole power structure has finally changed, and it feels like the tide is turning after months of rough waters. What really catches my attention isn't just the new information itself, but what it truly means deep down for that sweet girl, Willow. For the longest time, she's been stuck in such a weak position, bless her heart. Every single decision she had to make felt like a battle just to survive another day. Every compromise she made seemed forced on her, like she had no real choice and was just trying to keep her head above water. It truly pained me to watch her go through all that. She even ended up owing a favor to that no-good villain Sidwell, the one played by Carlo Rota, because he was the one who supplied her with the stuff to keep Drew paralyzed and under control. Can you imagine a good, kind woman like Willow having to rely on a character like him? It just wasn't right. And I'd sit there shaking my head, telling my wife over our evening tea, that poor girl has been backed into one too many dark corners. She carried so much on her shoulders trying to protect her family, doing what she thought was necessary at the hospital, all while feeling trapped in a situation that kept getting heavier. But today, her reaction to what Jack shared really stood out to me, and it warmed this old heart. The moment he laid out what he knew, Willow lit up in a way I hadn't seen in ages. She understood right away that this could actually work. Not someday far off in the future when things might magically improve, and not after another 6 months of pure chaos and heartbreak. No, sir, this felt like it could happen right now. Finally, she saw a clear path forward that didn't involve her having to keep drugging Drew day after day and then just praying that somebody else would step in and solve the whole messy problem for her. That moment gave me chills in a good way, like watching someone who's been walking through a long, dark tunnel suddenly spot the light at the end. Of course, nothing in Port Charles is ever as simple as we'd like it to be. That's one thing I've learned after following these stories for so long. Jack still hasn't handed over the actual evidence yet, and the folks around Willow keep reminding her that she might have to give Drew that medicine a few more times before everything is truly settled. It's a reminder that even when good news comes, there's still some hard road left to walk. But even with that, this feels different. For the first time since this whole tangled mess began, Willow is the one holding something that Drew never saw coming. She's got real leverage now, something solid she can use. And if Jack follows through on his promise, Drew is finally going to learn what it feels like when the shoe is on the other foot, when someone else has the power and the advantage over him. After all the trouble he's caused and all the ways he's stayed one step ahead, it seems only fair. Turnabout is fair play, like my old daddy used to say. I tell you what, watching Willow get this chance after everything she's endured makes me believe in better days ahead. She's reminded me of so many strong women I've known in my life, the ones who quietly carry their families through storms and still find the strength to stand up when the moment is right. This shift in power isn't just about one secret or one piece of proof. It's about her finally being able to breathe easier and take control of her own story instead of always reacting to someone else's games. Lord willing, this is the beginning of brighter times for that girl in General Hospital. I'm sitting here with my coffee, smiling to myself and cheering her on like she was family. She's earned this moment of strength, and I can't wait to see how she uses it. God bless her heart. Here's hoping the road ahead brings her the peace and justice she truly deserves.